Welcome to CFDb Interviews, and we're here today with John Schneider, actor, director, and producer who recently starred in the movie Adrenaline. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. Do I have permission to start recording this interview?
You certainly do.
Thank you so much. I just have a few questions for you. First of all, I'd like to know if you could say just a little bit about yourself and what compelled you to begin acting in Christian or faith-based movies.
John Schneider is my name, and I was fortunate enough to be part of a show that I feel is one of the best family shows, really of all time, and that of course is The Dukes of Hazzard. People were watching it in droves in the 70s and late
Yes.
70s, 80s. And it was exciting. It was something the whole family could watch. It was not necessarily a Christian show. In fact, I think there were some pastors that said you couldn't watch Dukes, and there were some that said you should. So it was just wonderful. And what happened as far as starting to do more faith-based films, there's a gentleman by the name of David White that I worked with a number of years ago. And he did a film called Second Chances that was really fantastic. Very well-rounded, wonderfully written story that was not a sweet, preachy film. And my experience was prior to meeting David, many of the things that came by my way were so tailored for the church and only the believer that it was not palatable for other people.
Right.
But a shift happened. And now many faith-based films are designed to be entertaining to all and really teach some and change the lives of some others. And this film, Adrenaline, is that kind of film. It's a film that is exciting. It takes place in the realm of drag racing, so it's loud and it's fast and it's oh my gosh, is he going to hit the wall? What's going to happen? Like any secular race film, but there's redemption in it. There's recognizing the need for forgiveness, and in my character, a really interesting thing. It's a need. My character has a need to apologize, which really we don't talk about all that much. We talk about forgiveness, but there's a little thing. In order to be at least individual to individual, I think in order to be forgiven, you have to say, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I really am sorry. I'm sorry has kind of turned into I'm sorry. I really don't mean it, but I'm sorry because I'm supposed to say that, which doesn't work for me. And if folks who are listening, if you are in the process of raising children, and I've done that myself, chances are you've heard that non-committal, non-apologetic apology that will kind of boil your blood.
Right.
If you're going to apologize, mean it. And Adrenaline is seated, for my character anyway, is seated in that dire need to express an apology. And then you're under no obligation to forgive someone who apologizes. But I believe you are under an obligation to apologize. So I'm really a fan of this film. It follows, like I said, along the lines of a film you can watch with your friends at church. It's a film you can watch with your friends and family who don't go to church. It's not something that is so. It's not a churchy film. It's a wonderful film that can help those who watch it. And I think for me, those are the kinds of faith-based films that we should all support. Now, there's room for films that are specifically designed for the people within a church. I mean, there are wonderful films that churches do within the walls of their own church that are helpful for that particular and specific congregation. But there are also films like this that you can get at Walmart, you can get at Best Buy, you can watch it on demand at Amazon. These are films that are entertaining and healing at the same time.
Which is great. Totally great. So what do you
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So what is the most important lesson you think that people will learn from Adrenaline?
That, well, for me, again, I can only speak from my character's perspective. I think a very important lesson is a need to apologize.
Right.
If you feel you've wronged someone, don't wait for them to point it out, because that's rather uncomfortable.
Right.
Get it over with. It is absolutely freeing. Even if, and this is a strange thing, even if, I believe it's how God works, even if they don't accept your apology, there's something about speaking an apology that will free up all the stuff that's inside you that's got you with stomach aches and you with headaches and you unable to sleep. I heard a wonderful sermon years ago about it's the person who needs to apologize that has all these issues. The person, chances are, the person you need to apologize to already forgot about it.
Right.
It's you that's making this huge mountain out of a molehill. But it will absolutely free you up, and it could free you up to do great things. And Adrenaline, that frees my character up to do great things in helping the young man that I'm apologizing to. So I think that's the most important lesson. There are other lessons in Adrenaline, but that for me is the most important lesson.
And that is a really important one. I did want to ask, I had learned recently about your latest venture, John Schneider Studios in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Can you tell us just a little bit about it?
I came up with that name.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, very unique.
Very original.
Right? What should we call this place? It's 58 acres outside of Baton Rouge. I'm sitting there, in the edit bay right now, and it's designed to help independent filmmakers get their movies done. We have editing facilities. We have many locations. Oftentimes, when you're trying to trying to shoot a movie, you're out among the people, and you have to have permits, and you have to have crowd control, and you have to have traffic control, and all of that is very expensive and does not wind up on camera. Well, here you're isolated. You are protected by the gate, if you will, and you can come in here and make your movies, follow your dreams, and do everything you've wanted to do since you were a kid, which is exactly what I'm doing here. So I like to say it's a place specifically designed to help people like me fulfill their design, follow their design. If you were built to make movies, and it's a very strange thing to be built for, it's a very specific skill set. Looks like a lot of fun, but it is a very specific skill set.
Yes.
Then this is the place to come. You can film, you can edit, you can put your music in, you can do color correction, and do all that stuff right here, and never have to be too far away from the barbecue pit, which is important.
Well, that is fantastic. We don't really have time to talk about your upcoming projects that you have plans for, but I would like you to close with letting people know how they can learn more about you and your work and find out what films.
Go to John Schneider Studios. John Schneider Studios, and you'll see all about it. JohnSchneiderStudios.com. Great place to go to see what's going on out here in Holden, Louisiana, and I'd appreciate it if you would. But first and foremost, get yourself to Best Buy or to Amazon or to Walmart and get a hold of Adrenaline. Make some popcorn and plan on watching this particular movie with your whole family and your friends' family. I promise it will entertain and it will bless everyone who watches it.
I look forward to seeing it. Usually I watch them before I do interviews, but this one is actually on its way to me, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, good.
I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. You have been listening to CFDb Interviews. For more about CFDB, please check out our website at ChristianFilmDatabase.com.